Hi there, I'm Susan for SusanWinter.net. Thank you so much for coming to my channel. Thank you for writing me about what you want to see on these videos. And thank you for coming to me for consultation. Fabulous. So I want to clear up some misunderstandings that we have around this concept that love can conquer all. That is true in the case of a couple holding hands and fighting through all the externals that stand against them, because they have one unified and common goal, and they are both moving toward that together. Love is not enough when what your partner asks of you is something that is nothing that feels right to you. The case in point is a couple situations that I've encountered this week, one with a friend, the other with a client, and then somebody else that I met business-wise. And in all these cases, both people love each other, but what one partner wants is vastly different than the other. And in all three cases that I'm thinking of right now, the person that I know was vacillating between, to what degree do I compromise on my life goals to be with this person I love? You see, admittedly, it hasn't been that easy to get to love. And when you find somebody that you really do care for, you want it to go the distance. But what happens if what your partner wants is something that you were very clear about from the beginning you're not doing, or that you have a different end goal in mind? Case in point, lovely young man that I met, and he said to his girlfriend when he met her 17 years ago, "I'll go anywhere in the world with you. It doesn't matter, I'll support you in anything you do, but just know when I've made enough money," and believe me, he's brilliant enough to do it any place in the world, "when I make enough money and I feel that I'm settled, I want to go back to our family ranch in Texas. I want to put on cowboy boots, ride horses. That's the life I want." And now the 17 years have passed, and she thought he'd give up that dream. He hasn't, and she's pushing him. And he said, "Baby, I told you, when I first met you, I said, this is what I'm going to do in my life. So if you've got any problem with that and you don't want that in your future, then you really shouldn't even take this first date with me." That was ground they thought was cleared. And imagine the pain as this man who loves his partner so much realizes that she thought she could blow past that. And does he give up his entire dream in how he values his life? So you've got two things of almost equal weight. One will become more dominant. I'll continue. Got another guy friend, told his girlfriend from day one, "I'll marry you, I'm not having more kids. Done it, raised two families, I'm not. In the latter part of my life, I want us to be together." And by the way, it was a package deal for an extended family that needed help. She thought he'd change. He's now at the crossroads of having to break up. And the frightening thing is this thing that goes through our mind: am I going to get lucky again? Am I going to be able to replicate this twice and find this love? This is a person that I love. But the way in which you would need to be with them is so dissatisfying. Now, I want to be very clear. These are not selfish human beings. This is no different than somebody who's an athlete that needs to run and exercise to feel good, to balance themselves, and wouldn't want to be in an unhealthy environment. Whatever it is for you, whether it's your faith or it's your day-to-day lifestyle, if you had to really compromise that and give up a major, major goal in your life that makes you happy, the way you envision your life going, it's that or your mate. You can see what a terrible situation this is. In this case, love is not enough. And the price of compromise means here is what will happen if an individual compromises what is their internal knowing of what their heart's desire is. That if I fundamentally go against what I stand for, what I want, what I believe in, not because I have a phobia, not because I have intimacy issues, not because I have commitment issues, not because I have geographical issues, just because that's who I am, right? There's no issue with it. It's just this is your desire. Those people who go against it and against their gut and their better judgment, always pay the price, and in the end, the relationship fails. I can't tell you the cases I know of people that were talked into something gradually, like Chinese water torture, just like the partner would not stop. And finally, they amended their life in this enormous way to go against their desires, everything that they wanted, against it for their partner. Very little time, that relationship disintegrated. And how could it not? So understand that we have this belief that compromise is a part of relationships, and true it is, but it's more like your partner wants sushi and you hate sushi, but you'll find a way to have them stir fry some vegetables or something. It's more like, okay, you give in for the movie. They want to watch a certain kind and you don't. That's the kind of compromise that goes on in a relationship. Okay, this year we go to your parents, next year we go to my parents. Fundamental issues. Your goals in life, how you see your life going. These are not things that should be compromised, because the minute we compromise those, you compromise yourself and your identity. So I wanted to make that clarification really specific, because many people get confused, and it's not the first time. If you've lived long enough, you've probably gone through that situation, I know I have, where you're weighing the love of a decent person that you know loves you and the life you have to live. And you've got to make a decision. I hope this has helped you. Susan Winter for SusanWinter.net. If you prefer to listen to this, tune into the Susan Winter Show on iTunes. If you want to write me with a topic, go to the contact page. Do not write media, please. They just trash it. That's for media only. Go to the button on the bottom that says Q&A, video requests. And if you want an immediate answer, just call me. I'm on Magnify. Now, Magnify is an on-demand, by-the-minute service. It's available right now. The time of this recording, it's available in North America. All you need is an iPhone. You download it free from the apps. You just call me. I'm available all day into the early evening, 7 days a week, okay? So if you think it's going to take a month or two to get an answer to your video, and you need to know right now, why didn't he text me back? Why didn't she respond to me? Do I contact her again? Easy. We're done in a couple of minutes, okay? Thank you very much for being a wonderful, supportive audience. Thank you for writing me, and thank you for being part of my YouTube family.